Oh, good.
When I find out, no worries.
Yeah, no, he's better than I expected.
Look at all those trails. Look at all those trails. Oh, you've got the land.
He's just got the water. Yeah. No. Dementia side.
What, these ones?
I reckon. Suspect. Yeah, when he can't have routine, that's what throws it out. So, but when he's at home, he knows where he's going, where he is.
How's the swearing by Mark Rikers?
Yeah, like even at home. There you go.
Every time I see Home Among the Gum Trees, I just imagine harvesting it. How was that video of Xander? I need to show you.
Oh, yeah. Yep. What's he doing?
So, Frank, just after I share the poem, I've got one to yes. So if you just sort of hover
Yes, I've got the day free. I've kept it free. Yeah.
just stop it.
No, well, they say not to do it extremely. So what time from them? Sounds good. Okay. Well, I'll speak to you Tuesday night or something.
Oh, no, because it was at
Yeah. No, thank you. I
just where?
I actually spent the weekend. Just a combination of things from the drainage not working properly.
Oh, you just put sign it.
All right. If anything changes, I'll reach out Tuesday. I'll let on live. Yeah, that's
It
right.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It won't even make any difference.
Excellent.
Because we're
Right.
already
Okay.
So even if you are
Yeah, but we could have before
give them a good whistle in a minute.
Kelly, do you want to just test this? I'm only touching the power button. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing,
Keep going.
testing, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I've been around the world a couple of times or maybe more. Seen the sights, I've had delights on every foreign shore. But when my mates all ask me the place that I adore, I tell them right away. What do we tell them? Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees, a sheep, a two, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back, veranda out the front, and an old rocking chair. You can see me in the kitchen cooking up a roast of Vegemite on toast, just you and me, a cup of tea. And later on we'll settle down and go out on the porch and watch the possums play. Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees, a sheep, a two, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back, veranda out the front, and an old rocking chair. There's a Safeways up the corner and a Woolies down the street, and a brand new place they've opened up where they regulate the heat. But I trade them all tomorrow for a little bush retreat with a kookaburra's call. Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees, a sheep, a two, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back, veranda out the front, and an old rocking chair. Up we go. Some people like their houses with fences all around, others live in mansions and some beneath the ground. But me, I like the bush, you know, with rabbits running round and a pumpkin vine out the back. This is your turn. Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees, a sheep, a two, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back, veranda out the front, and an old rocking chair. Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees, a sheep, a two, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back, veranda out the front, and an old rocking chair.
What a great song to begin today's farewell for Graeme. I felt like I wanted to break out into song. You know, feet were tapping, and yeah, a lovely upbeat way to start today's farewell. Well, good afternoon everyone, and thank you all for being here as we gather in loving memory of Graeme. My name is Gina Breakey, and it really is an honour to lead today's service. On behalf of Glennis and all of Graeme's family, I'd like to welcome you to this Graveside service here in Leongatha, a place where Graeme's story began and the community he called home for much of his early life. Tomorrow we will celebrate Graeme's life with a memorial service in Bairnsdale. It will be a chance to share stories and memories that capture his character, his spirit, and the lasting impact he had on each of us. In contrast, today will be a simple, heartfelt moment for us to say our final farewell, surrounded by family, lifelong friends, and the familiar surrounds that meant so much to Graeme. And together we will show our gratitude for having shared part of life's journey with him. We come together this afternoon in loving memory of Graeme Wigney, beloved husband, father and father-in-law, a cherished grandfather and a respected friend. At 87 years of age, Graeme lived a full life, and though it is sad he is no longer with us in a physical sense, his spirit and memory will live on in our hearts and continue to guide those he loved. At a time like this, it's comforting to reflect on the qualities that made Graeme so unique. Each of you here today will have your own special memories of Graeme, and I feel certain a common theme will be of a man who was reliable, dedicated, strong-willed, and someone who took pride in everything he did. Growing up on a dairy farm at Wild Dog Valley, just north of here, Graeme learned the value of hard work from a young age, and he spent his working life always giving his best. In recent weeks, Graeme's family have spent time reflecting on his life, and they all remember his sense of humour and fun. Graeme had a nickname for most everyone, even his neighbours, and they all agreed that he was a man of strong opinions. Graeme never shied away from sharing his point of view, and he expressed it whether it was well received or not. The simple things in life are what Graeme will be remembered for mostly. He was extremely house proud. His veggie garden was his pride and joy. His roses were lovingly cared for, and his lawns were immaculate. Weeds never had a chance with Graeme around. There wasn't a blade of grass out of place, and he spent countless hours in the garden or tinkering in his shed. A storyteller, Graeme had a habit of telling the same stories more than once. His humour and wit kept the family entertained, and he loved to crack a joke. His drink of choice was a half Scotch and dry, and he followed the Blues in the footy, and he was pretty happy that they are slowly making their way up the ladder. I'm sure everyone here would know that being outdoors was Graeme's happy place. Pa's shed was his domain, and 9 times out of 10 he'd be outside in the garden or in his shed, with Glenys never too far away. A man who lived a simple, happy life, Graeme knew how lucky he was to have the love and support of Glenys. Side by side through all of life's challenges and adventures, Graeme and Glenys created a happy life together, and he knew how lucky he was to have someone so loving and supportive by his side. A proud father, Graeme led by example, instilling a strong work ethic and determination to always do your best. And an equally proud pa. He enjoyed any time he got to spend with his grandkids, and he loved to keep up with what was going on in their busy lives. Graeme will be remembered for so many reasons, and I would like to invite his lifelong friend Ian Rasmussen, who is going to share with us a few memories of his mate. I believe there's over 80 years worth of memories there. So thank you to Ian to come forward.
Okay. Graeme Wigney. It has been my privilege to have Graeme as a best mate for over 80 years. How special is that? Not many can say they've had a best mate for 80 years. We went to primary school together. Graeme was a year behind me, and as boys were outnumbered by girls, the boys had to stick together and also be nice to the girls, and were required to make up the numbers for a game of cricket or footy. In a trade-off, we had to participate in the girls' activities of drop the hanky and the farmer wants a wife and funny things like that. I can see Cheryl down there smiling at that. But we were a happy family at Wild Dog School, and we both had very, very special memories of that education. There's one room, 6 grades, and all the grade work up on the board in front, an open fire to keep us warm in the winter, and open windows in the summer to keep us cool. None of this soft air conditioning stuff. So I tried to get a bit of dirt on Graeme, but he was just too damn perfect. And he did slip up one day. I got this story from somewhere else that he came to school in the winter time and he had his wet weather coat on. But he had forgotten that he'd placed some eggs in the pockets when he'd gone home and gathered the eggs and that, and he forgot to take them out. And they'd been there for quite some time. We were wondering where that sort of bad odour come from. Yes, of course they'd broken in Graeme's pockets. But, yes. I spent a lot of time up at the Wigneys, and used to get up there by pedal power But the last climb up to the house, that was walking power, because there's no damn way you could ride a bike up there. Even if it had electric power assist, you wouldn't get up that hill. But yeah, I spent a lot of time. That was my second home, and Mrs. Wigney looked after me very, very well. And Graham's father and Barry and myself, we managed to bowl a few balls at each other, many, many thousands of them, I would say, up against the shed on the cricket pitch they had. We also had Guy Fawkes nights up there, and that was really good fun with a big fire and bungers, rockets, spinning wheels and moors. Rosie Lincoln's shop in Leongatha was a very popular spot at that time of the year for all the young people, because Rosie had a great array of fireworks. If one had gone off in that shop, that would have been the end of the shop for sure. So Graeme and I went on to Leongatha High School, and that was a bit of a shock for the system, in particular me anyway, to go from 13 students to 350. We were a bit lost for the first fortnight of where to go, I can tell you. And because we didn't get into town very much, and apart from the wild dog kids that were there, we didn't know anybody either. We didn't really see each other that much at school, except when the cricket bat came out at lunchtime and that. But from a little school, and there's only a few boys, we both made it into the Leongatha High School cricket A-grade team in 1955. So it was a feather in our cap to do that. It was Graeme that invited me to join the Arawata Cricket Club, and it was his father that provided the transport for us all to matches. So Graeme, Barry and I used to go to the Arawata Cricket Club. That was made up of dairy farmers. It was dairy farmer comp. Started at 10 o'clock and knocked off at 3, so we could get home and milk. Graeme was a good bowler and a steady batsman, and we aroused the ire of the Pumong bowlers one day when after we opened the batting, and after about an hour and a half we were none for 12. We were both stone wallers really, but in those days the grass was not necessarily just beautifully cut and half-inch long, and Graeme and I played the ball along the ground, so it was hard to get it clear of the fieldsmen, and they had pretty good bowlers, so it was pretty dangerous to try and slog it out pretty quick. So yeah, they were not happy about us being there for that long and then bowling their heads off to try and get us out. So we did. Arawata got into a grand final, and we were playing at Ransby and we were playing Poowong, and we were going very, very well. We had Poowong about 5 for 50 or something. They were chasing 150. And my brother come on to bowl and took a wicket, I think. And then a bloke by the name of Bushy Bateman come out. The first ball he put up in the top of the pine trees. The second ball the same. The third ball again. The fourth one again. And then the fifth last ball of the over went up the same spot. 5 sixes, 30 runs knocked off the total, and Poowong went up on to win, unfortunately. So I think that was the last year that the Wigneys played with Arawata, but it was great for little club like Arrawata to get into the final. We're also in the Young Farmers Club together, and probably the highlight of that was when the Bega Valley Young Farmers came down on a visit to South Gippsland, and we billeted out 2 boys at our place, and the Wigneys billeted out 2 young ladies at their place. It's lucky, I think, from what I've heard, that Glennis got to marry Graeme at that stage. But anyway, they were lovely girls, and we had a great time while they were down here. Then we had a return visit, and some of 45 of South Gippsland's young farmers travelled to Bega in 1956. And Harley's Bus Lines, well known around this area, that was the first bus trip that Tom Harley done, was the young farmers to Bega. The buses weren't what they are now, and we chugged up the highway, and the highway wasn't what it is now either. And we stopped in Orbost overnight. And of course the Orbost young farmers had a dance on for us, and I remember that was the stage when the sack was in. Yeah. So anyway, we chugged off to Bega the following day, and we all went out to our respective hosts for the night, and we had a wonderful time up in Bega. It was 45, I think, on the bus, and there was 9 or 10 weddings come out of that bus trip. I wasn't one of them, I escaped, but I was only 18, so I don't think I would have been 18 then. But anyway, yeah, I think Graeme and Glennis has sort of got together on that trip. But that was the way it was. I've done the young farmers or a dating service, I don't know. So, we used to regularly visit the Wigneys and vice versa when they were farming at Wild Dog Valley, and when the first colour television coverage of the Test cricket was on, we sat up all night and watched the cricket. Our kids were sleeping under the billiard table up at Wigney's, I think, because we couldn't get tellies down in our little hollow. And yeah, then we went home to milk. We enjoyed a lot of games on our pool tables, and also Monopoly and cards. We also shared a rotary hoe to dig up our veggie gardens, and much healthy produce was grown with that. But I must admit, Graeme was a much better and tidier gardener than I was. Graeme, probably because of his location, had never had a push bike, because he could only ride around the top of the hill, couldn't ride down the hill. So he purchased a 3-wheel motorbike, and when we went up to visit, he said, "Have a go on my new 3-wheel bike, Ras." He didn't tell me that a 3-wheel bike, you don't lean the way you want to go, you've got to lean the other way. Yes. He was splitting his sides in stitches when he seen me ride into the damn shed, didn't he? He was tricky. We enjoyed fishing trips on the bull cruises in Meetung and up the Tambo River. We went up with Neil Scott, Roy Matthews and Graeme and myself, And Neil was a keen fisherman. He'd bought himself a brand new brim rod, so he would catch the most brim. Graeme was fishing one side of the boat, Neil on the other. Graeme's got a very stiff steel sea rod, Neil using his boat rod, and Graeme's hauling them in one after the other. They swapped sides of the boat, so did the fish. Graeme's reeled them in on this side. Scotty's rod was very close to being thrown out into the middle of the Tambo. We had lots of fun on that, and we also done that as families. We went up on the Bill cruises, and they were great holidays and not overly expensive at that stage. In 1977 they sold the farm and moved to Bego, and distance made it difficult to visit very often, but when we did, we had great fun back together, remembering what we had done and going around showing us up to their area up there at Bego, which was a lot of reminiscing because we had been around that area with the Young Farmers trip, and that was really good. And helped Graeme fix a collapsed wall at one stage. He was very disappointed that something he'd built collapsed. But unfortunately the drainage hadn't been right and it got too much water behind it. In 1998, when we had our clearing sale, it was Graeme and Glennis that volunteered to assist us as advisors and security at that, and we much appreciated their help. Since they've moved to Johnsonville, there have been numerous visits to and fro for various reasons, weddings, funerals and celebrations, or just relaxing and enjoying each other's company and recalling better times. These are just a few things I've jotted down of the memories we've had over our lifetimes, and no doubt others will have many others that can be added to that. But it's been a privilege and a great time to be Graeme's mate for 80 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. I know the family appreciate you sharing those wonderful memories. I could see Glennis smiling at a lot of those memories. She's taken a trip down memory lane of all those years, and you've got certainly some wonderful stories to tell. And as Ian mentioned, everyone here does have their own memories and stories to tell, and a lovely chance to continue telling those and sharing your memories, and also celebrating Graeme's life is to join the family when we do conclude today. They are headed to the Leongatha RSL. I'm sure most of you know where that is. There's refreshments to be served and some time together with Graeme's family, sharing those memories, as Ian mentioned. So there's a warm invitation for you to join the family there. Well, today isn't just about saying goodbye. It's about taking a moment to remember a life lived well, to give thanks for the memories that Graeme leaves behind, and to say our final farewell with love, respect and gratitude. I'm sure you would all agree that Graeme would not want us to leave this afternoon with heavy hearts. Instead of dwelling on what has been lost, I hope you all remember what has been shared, and we honour Graeme by carrying our memories with us always. If he could, I'm sure he would thank each and every one of you here, particularly the front few rows here, for being such an important part of his life. A life well lived is a precious gift of hope and strength and grace from someone who has made our world a brighter, better place. It's filled with moments sweet and sad, with smiles and sometimes tears, with friendships formed and good times shared and laughter through the years. A life well lived is a legacy of joy and pride and pleasure. our grateful hearts, a living lasting memory our grateful hearts will treasure. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, the rains fall soft upon your fields, and until we meet again, may you rest in peace. This time of parting is the most difficult part of today, but as we spend these final moments of today's service together, let us be grateful once more for having shared in Graeme's life. Be thankful for the closeness you have all had with Graeme. Nothing can change the experiences and the friendships that have been shared. The past is sacred and secure and cannot be changed by time or by circumstance. Graeme has left a lasting legacy of memories that will always bring a smile. He will be remembered for his love of family and the friendships that he made, and for the simple things like the good times you all got to share with him. And there is no question all of your lives are richer for having known him. Now is but a moment in time, and I dedicate the next few moments to every single precious memory associated with Graeme. As we accept life, so must we also accept death as one of the unchanging laws of human design. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose on earth, a time to be born and a time to die. We prepare to commend Graeme and the memory we have of him to his final resting place, knowing that in time we too shall all join this circle. Graeme, you have finished your journey and you have left your mark. Your legacy continues in the hearts of your proud family, and your memory is left in the hearts of those you have touched. May you rest in peace with the certain knowledge that our love goes with you. It seems fitting that I share these few short words on a card that Glenys has written. Dear Wig, I just gave you a hug in my thoughts. I hope you felt it. Love, Ging. Into the darkness and the warmth of the earth, we now lay Graeme to rest. May he rest in peace.
on earth was trouble, and only you could know the pain. You weren't afraid to face the devil. You were no stranger to the rain. Go rest high on that mountain. You know your work on earth is done. Go to heaven shouting love for the Father and the Son. Oh, how we cried the day you left us. We gathered round your grave to grieve. I wish I could see those angels' faces when they hear your sweet voice sing. Go rest high on that mountain. You know your work on earth is done. Go to heaven shouting love for the Father and the Son. to heaven to shout to love for the Father and the Son. Go to heaven to shout to love for the Father and the Son.
If you want to, I'll just lower it.
To hear your voice, to see you smile, to sit and talk to you a while, to be together the same old way, that would be our greatest wish today. To hear you laugh, to hear you cry, or just a chance to say goodbye, to say the things we didn't say, that would be our greatest wish today. But all we can do is throw a flower on the water, look for the sun through the rain, lay a little frangipani gentle on the water, remember how we loved you. To comb your hair, to lace your shoes, buy some flowers, let you choose, a phone call when you're away, just to see if you're okay. To hear your voice, to see you smile, to sit and talk